This is going to be a best of 7 today. We usually do best of 5 for show matches, but a show match of this caliber has to be a best of 7. We saw Joreuz against Chronic just the other day, and he looked really good. He is one of the most adaptable players that we've seen on stream. He's very composed, and although he was a bit beanie when he first came on stream, that's no longer the case. I think that was just, nerves when he started playing on stream for the first time. And since then he's really settled down and become a really scary player. Now oKhaliD, he needs no introduction. He is probably the scariest player. And although he does play with a ping disadvantage in almost every single game he plays, it doesn't seem to bother him. And reminds me of AJ just, I think it was a week and a half ago against Revzy. He says he doesn't know how oKhaliD does it because he tried to play against Revzy on a EU server and he had a similar ping to what oKhaliD does right now, and he just couldn't do it. So let's see if oKhaliD can do it again. I know that a lot of you are going to be rooting for him. We've got a $50 prize pool donation from Paranoid. Thanks for that, Paranoid. Well, that's a great save by Joreuz early on. oKhaliD did not predict which direction that one was going to go. If there's one player who's going to be able to handle oKhaliD's bounce dribbles, it might be Joreuz. This is definitely a man who is quite comfortable defending, even if it's for the majority of a game. That close to the ball bounce dribble for oKhaliD is so scary. At any moment he can let rip a shot. He didn't make contact there though. That's not the cleanest start for oKhaliD, both defensively and offensively. Looking a bit rusty, might be wanting to get that shaken off. Now, although he is rank 1 in the leaderboard, and I think by a fair margin, I don't think he's playing much ones rank, to be told me, if I remember correctly. oKhaliD just got up to that rank and then he kind of just left his account there, and everybody else is trying to catch up to him. But yeah, he doesn't play much ones ranked. He's sort of like going into the Fairy Peak mode when Fairy Peak was in that insane win streak. Those of you who do remember that win streak the Fairy had will know that for that duration of the win streak, Fairy didn't really play much rank 1s either. He would just get rank 1 and then just sit there. Nobody could catch him. So he would mostly just play show matches. So this is a great start for Joreuz, and I think he needed a good start today. oKhaliD has made pretty ridiculous comebacks against several players in the past. And once he gets in front, he's just so scary. He's so difficult to come back against. Easily, in my opinion, the best player mentally in the ones game right now. Shows almost no flaws regardless of the pressure, regardless of the scoreline or the time left on the clock. Plays almost exactly the same no matter what. oKhaliD, thanks for the $10 to the prize pool as well. We're just going to keep on adding on anything that comes in. Oh, that's nearly a miss for oKhaliD. He just squeezes it in. That wasn't confident at all. I mean, if you just wanted to make it look good, double crossbar and a bit of post on that one, but I would beg to differ. I think he just nearly missed that one. 2-2 nonetheless, and it's going to become 3-2. Joreuz with the revenge kickoff goal. And he's in the lead by 1 again. Long BO1, thanks to the brand new Prime sub. Time for N8, thanks to the 3-month Prime. And Iat Sidesu, sorry if I've said that wrong, but thanks for the brand new Prime. Good reaction there from oKhaliD. He saw that Joreuz was faking the kickoff. He's baited him into the corner, but lands pretty poorly, and Joreuz will come away with the ball. Dr. Katan, thanks to the 4-month Prime. Welcome back, buddy. And the Little Big Spy, how you doing with 15-month Prime? It's good to have you back as well. Yeah, a bit of an earlier stream today. Most of our streams recently have been pretty late, but decided to go live with one of the most anticipated matchups in the one scene right now. oKhaliD looking a bit dodgy in game 1 here. Not gonna lie to you guys. Quite a lot of these goals, pretty much I think all the goals apart from the kickoff goal, could have been prevented if he'd played better himself. And that's going to be another one from Joreuz. 5-2. And it's actually oKhaliD who needs to make the gameplay change-ups here. He is getting steamrolled all of a sudden. How do you prime sub? Well, if you're on your mobile phone, it might be quite difficult. I don't know how to prime sub on a mobile. You might just have to wait until you get onto a PC later on. And then you just click the subscribe button and then click Twitch Prime. It should be that simple. See, you've already connected your Twitch Prime, or your Amazon Prime with your Twitch account, so done the hard part. Yeah, sorry, I don't know how to prime sub mobile. No idea, mate. Johnny, you could win if you played better. Well, I didn't say you could win if you played better. I just said he... Okay, I was trying to refer to whether or not the mistakes that oKhaliD were making were forced or not. And I don't think they were really that forced. It was Canada's team messed up under pressure that he would usually deal with no problem. That's a big difference. There's, in my opinion, a huge difference between somebody getting forced into an awkward position and messing up, and somebody who just messes up for no reason. Well, there's that bounce dribble that we were all waiting to see. Nobody does it like him still. There's no run-up needed. He's barely moving away from the ball there. It's leaving no opportunity for Joreuz to turn around and challenge. Most players would need a bigger run-up to get a shot like that, but oKhaliD doesn't need that. He can just take the smallest run-up and still blast the ball on target. This could be the start of something. He could do the exact same thing here. He is going for the space on the left-hand side of the field, and there's the same approach. Joreuz tries to counter him with the challenge, and oKhaliD has absorbed it. 4 goals to 6 now. Joreuz, he tried to change up the defensive strategy there. He didn't want to go to the goal line again and have to watch another one fly over his shoulder. But even when he did change up the strats, oKhaliD still had an answer for him. Those bounce dribbles are just so hard to stop. But, you know, credit to Joreuz. At least he didn't fall for the same trap twice. He didn't go straight for the same strategy that failed him moments ago. And Joreuz is really low on boost here. oKhaliD knows that. He's keeping the ball high, but he's kept it a bit too close to Joreuz this time. That's brilliant defense from Joreuz. He was in a very awkward position, but he's done well. oKhaliD is the one who's in a dangerous spot, but he's snagged the boost and sort of traded it for the ball possession. Less than a minute to go in game 1. Much closer game than it was just a minute ago. But can oKhaliD come back? That's not a bad recovery. He will come back 1 goal closer. And he was pretty quick into the air for this one. One of the weaknesses that oKhaliD did have in the salt mine was aerial speed. It wasn't so much a weakness, it's just something that he wasn't quite as good at as some of the other players in the league, who were, of course, 3v3 mains. Joreuz, not a 3s main as far as I know, so oKhaliD might be able to dominate in that facet of the game. So 5 Joreuz nonetheless.
For the amazing content I watch on YouTube. Keep up the good work.
Hey, thanks for the kind words, sweet mozzarella. Thanks for dropping off the Prime sub. See you on YouTube if that's where you want to watch this one. It's fine by me. oKhaliD, the cheeky kickoff to try and get a 6th goal here, but it's not going to go in. And nor is the follow-up. Disappointing game for oKhaliD in game 1. He'll feel like he could have done a lot better here, but at least he also knows that his regular game plan, his standard approach to Rocket League 1v1 should be good enough to beat Joreuz if Joreuz plays the exact same style as well. oKhaliD knows that, well, we lost this game, and that one's on me. Let's just make sure not to make the same mistakes again. Joreuz will take the lead here in the series. But he got a taste of fear, perhaps, of what might be coming his way later on. Some of those dribbles from oKhaliD were just as scary as what we're used to seeing from him. Joreuz didn't have a comfortable answer for them. Good defense all around, though. He did enough. He did enough. Machiavelli at Dawn, thanks to the 11-month Prime. Really appreciate it, man. Wall E96, thanks to the brand new Prime. And Mum, thanks to the 21-month Prime. And I think that's everybody. If I forgot you, then that's personal. Please just let a mod of mine know, and they'll tell me that I've forgotten to shout you out. Let's get into game 2. Big read to kick off the game for oKhaliD. Knew exactly where Joreuz was planning to hit that ball. This is going to be interesting to see what oKhaliD does to try and turn this series around. He does have quite a few shots at his disposal. Well, that's one of the more interesting ones. I don't know if this was planned to get a late dunk on the air dribble. Joreuz just didn't get the clear to the side enough. He'll be disappointed that he hit that one straight back at the direction oKhaliD was flying in from. I don't think oKhaliD got the play that he was wanting. He might have wanted to go higher on that air dribble, but he got the goal anyway, and he scores again to the kickoff immediately afterwards. Yeah, after seeing game 1 there, guys, who do you have winning this? J's in the chat for Joreuz, K's for oKhaliD. Who is it going to be? Well, that's a similar goal to the first game opening goal, with oKhaliD prioritizing corner boost. Not something that he is known for, but Joreuz punishing him every time he does it. oKhaliD is going to need to be more careful. This time he does back off, respecting the shot. It's very nice control on the goal line as well to keep the ball under control. Joreuz backing off, giving oKhaliD a bit of space, but the dribble was too direct for oKhaliD to do much else than a straight air dribble, and he's been in that same position a couple of times already this game, and he's not getting much success from it. I think the first goal he scored looked a bit awkward, it worked out. Since then he's air dribbled 2 more times, neither of them have worked out. Don't know if that's going to be the best strategy for him moving forwards, unless of course he can get a bit more angle in the approach like he usually does. This is more promising, and that is going to be a goal for oKhaliD. It's exactly like I was saying. As soon as he comes in from a slight angle, he looks so much more scary. He's got better vision, he's got more options at his disposal. He knew exactly how to counter Joreuz's stationary position there. Joreuz needs to be careful not to get bumped. He won't actually have too many problems with that though, because oKhaliD is completely out of boost. Usually this would be a position where Joreuz is in a lot of danger because he's looking at the ball and taking his eyes off his opponent. oKhaliD used so much boost and didn't win the kickoff, and couldn't get into position to make the bump play happen. What a start this would be for Joreuz if he can add to his already game 1 lead in this series. Seems to have caught oKhaliD on a bad day, or caught him slightly off guard perhaps. Great save by Joreuz. He's going to have to try and make another run here though. oKhaliD peppering the net with shots. Post saves Joreuz. Perfect boost steal from oKhaliD. But here comes Joreuz. Oh my days! That might be the best flick we've ever seen on stream. He took off from the halfway line, flicked it from outside the box, and it bounced in off oKhaliD's car, but come on. How do you read that? How are you supposed to stop that? Unbelievable acceleration on the ball from Joreuz. And he's not done. He's coming forward again. oKhaliD forced onto the goal line. Joreuz is there waiting for him. And that's 5-3. Joreuz not happy with the 3-all scoreline. He steps up and he sends oKhaliD a message. Now it's oKhaliD's turn. He absolutely needs to find that extra gear that we all know he's got. Joreuz has beaten him in consistency, and he's also beaten him in peak performance so far this series. Long way to go though in the best of 7. oKhaliD has options of the air dribble, decides to just pass the ball away to Joreuz. He wasn't confident in the reset there. That's not a good sign for all oKhaliD fans if he's not confident in his own ability to hit the reset in that position. And he can't be feeling like he's playing very well, because I've seen him score flip resets in that spot before. oKhaliD just stays low enough for the near post, but it's still gone in. Joreuz had plenty boost to risk this 50-50. It wasn't really too much of a risk, was it? Because oKhaliD's the one who's totally starved here. Even if he does get the save, Joreuz is going to take the ball for free. 6-3 now. Joreuz really has momentum going strongly in his favour. This really might be the biggest challenge oKhaliD has ever faced. He's spotted the opening on the right hand side though. Decides to go for the hook shot, and this is just a tutorial on how to dribble in this position. Every time oKhaliD gets the ball and finds some space, he's showing us exactly why crossing over opponents is so much better than dribbling straight at them. Didn't need a big run up again, but the ball's flying over the top of Joreuz's head. Very similar game to the first, in fact. At least currently. oKhaliD trying to make the boost advantage work for him here. Did not get the steal as he left that time. He wanted it. The boost spawned right behind him. Joreuz knows that the crossover's coming. Comes across as well to intercept. Still has his dodge. Pinches the shot. into the top left corner. Are you kidding me? Joreuz is popping off. He is putting multiple montage goals past the best ones player on the planet in the same game. I said earlier on it might have been the best flick we've ever seen on stream. That might be the best pinch we've ever seen on stream. It's certainly in the conversation. oKhaliD's getting desperate. That is a very risky play, and it's not going to pay off. Joreuz ahead by 4 goals, and he absolutely deserves every single one of them so far. Hey Jesse, thanks for the 32-month tier 1. My days, that's a long time. I wonder what my sub-streak's at on your stream.
My first
go check.
And it seems to be a good one.
Hey, you picked a pretty good one if it's your first match you've ever caught on stream. 20 quid to the prize pool. I make that about $26 or there or thereabouts. I'll add everything together at the end of this stream, just in case I messed it up during. Joreuz does mess up this shot, but he's already so far ahead, and there's only a minute left in the game. We've seen 4-goal comebacks from oKhaliD in the past, but Joreuz is playing on another level right now. I don't know if it's going to be possible. If that went in, it might be. If this goes in, it might be. And it does go in. Well, maybe there's another twist in the tail in game 2 yet. Coyote919, thanks for the tier 3 and the 3 months, mate. Is that your first tier 3? I can't remember if... I think it is your first tier 3, isn't it? But I'll put you in the list before I forget. I know somebody's going to be like, Johnny cast the game, but I need to write this down, or else I'll lose it forever. There we go. Job done. 35 seconds left. It's not going to be at all easy for oKhaliD. I think Joreuz kickoff has just been too good today to even give oKhaliD 3 realistic chances, but here's a good one. It's well saved though by Joreuz. He had a good idea of where oKhaliD wanted to shoot that ball. And now there's only 15 seconds left. oKhaliD is going to make a play for it, and I think he's got 1 goal back. Oh, denied by the post again, actually. Not even consolation for oKhaliD at the end of game number 2. He is in a lot of trouble here. Joreuz is popping off, and oKhaliD is struggling to find his feet in the offensive half of the field. He's going to need to step up here, because Joreuz certainly has. Thanks, by the way, to Nedlington for the brand new Prime. Really appreciate it, man. And LX Steen for the brand new Prime as well. Welcome to you.
Whoop whoop, finally a day stream. Go Joreuz.
Dirty Boom Links. You'll be happy to see Joreuz doing well, it would seem. But thanks for the 8-month Prime. Welcome back to you. This is the real... I think this is probably the most important game of the series right here. Because if oKhaliD wins it, he'll just look like he's coming back to his old self. If Joreuz wins it, then surely he'll be able to close out the series. Surely he doesn't get beaten 4 times in a row. This has to be the most that Joreuz has ever focused on stream. Now he's giving oKhaliD a great setup for his dribble here. oKhaliD is going to go for his usual bounce dribble into shot, and he makes it work. Note every single time that this is successful, oKhaliD tries to dribble the ball into a position where Joreuz is forced to be stationary when the shot comes in. That's his goal with any of these approaches. He doesn't want Joreuz to be able to match the speed that he's coming in at. Trying to wrong foot him constantly. He's done it again here, but Joreuz does get up quickly. Rebounds. Attempt for oKhaliD. Joreuz reads the low 50-50. He turns this one around completely. oKhaliD back up in his corner. That's not a good clear. Joreuz has a free aerial. Make it a double touch. That's 1-1. And you just can't give Joreuz any possession for free like this. Not ever, but especially not today. Not when he's playing this well. The confidence to go for the double touch there. It speaks volumes to how much belief he's got in his own ability right now. Will oKhaliD go for this? No, he decides against it. It looks like it was a wise decision. Joreuz was very quickly into position for it. oKhaliD reads the fake challenge of Joreuz, and then he tries to shoot over him. Joreuz does position far back enough. oKhaliD's trying to dribble the ball back into his half there. Joreuz managed to intercept him, but oKhaliD still comes away with the ball. That was initially a good chase by Joreuz. He knew that Khalid was trying to dribble the ball back into the corner. Didn't want to give it to him for free. But he sort of fumbled the dribble at the end. He just got stuck underneath the ball and wasn't really doing much with it. Not much boost for Khalid. He's used a lot of boost in his approach for almost all his kickoffs today. This should be a tie game. Joreuz with the wide open net. He slots it in the bottom right corner, furthest from the spawn point of his opponent. He just looks like he's able to close any goal lead Khalid opens up today. Doesn't take too long. Every single time that Khalid gets in front. Joreuz has done a phenomenal job not being stuck in his goal with zero boost as well. We've seen many players in the past against Khalid just really struggle to get out of their own half because Khalid doesn't overextend very much. So if he can just start boost starving you, you're never going to get your boost back. Joreuz. Oh, that's a brilliant save by Khalid. I was going to say Joreuz has done well to break free with zero boost several times. Still, the more stylish of the two players, the more successful of the two players, is in pink in the orange half of the field. That's a great flick. Khalid tries to dive in. Joreuz sees him coming. And he's going to make Khalid think twice about a rush challenge like that again. Khalid is not disguising his approach as well as he thought he was. He was in plain view there. Luckily for him, his kickoff is doing work. That is such a key moment there. Joreuz in both the other games, when he gets in front, he's able to add goals to that lead, but this time that's not happened. Khalid stops him immediately. Has to keep doing that. He can't allow Joreuz to build a lead like he did in the first two games. But it doesn't matter what Khalid tries. Joreuz is finding ways through here. He is reading Khalid's early challenges, and he's catching Khalid off guard with quick plays of his own. One step ahead in both attack and defense. Khalid sends Joreuz shot over the bar. Joreuz is just going to air dribble this one back into the midfield. Doesn't get the last touch on it, but he's still quicker to it. And there's the reset, close to halfway line. Khalid gets the bounce down the line that he was looking for. That's wide open, and he doesn't miss those. Great save by Khalid. The fact that he's able to hit this into the corner is huge. And that bounces flat. He's not able to score, but he got it to go down the line. He's staying in touch here. He's not giving Joreuz that 3-goal lead that he got in both games 1 and 2. That'll definitely pay dividends for him later on. Khalid aware of the power Joreuz brings to the table. Respecting the long shot. That's a nice half-flip touch by Khalid. He's got space out to the left again. And he sees Joreuz ready to close the gap, and he didn't want to give him the opportunity. Joreuz still able to turn over the possession quite easily. Both players playing a similar game right now. It looks like Joreuz is the one who's coming out on top in that game. Khalid trying to save up as much boost as he can, but the longer this play goes, the better it looks for Joreuz, and the worse it looks for him. Now Joreuz has given Khalid an opening. That's huge. 1 minute left in the game. Khalid with the mind game underneath. And that might be the play that's been missing from his offensive arsenal all day long. We've seen so many failed air dribbles. But this one he leans away from and gets a dunk on the underside of the ball. And that's going to catch anybody off guard. Especially when you've been going for air dribbles up high as often as Khalid has. Big power shot from Khalid now. And he gets a demo on the back wall. This is huge. He might just try and run down the clock here. Frustrate Joreuz a bit. Letting the ball do the work for him here. And my goodness. Is he the best bounce dribble in the world or what? This is just outrageous. Look how close he is to the ball at every stage in this dribble. And then look how quickly and how accurately the shot finds the top corner. If you think that this looks like a boring offensive strategy, I challenge you to go into free play and do that 10 times in a row. You're not going to get it. You're going to miss, you're going to hit the bar, you're going to hit the post, you're going to do something wrong, but Khalid just makes it look so easy every single time And he's got, well, I was about to say a world-class goalie, Joreuz. But Joreuz actually just missed this one. Joreuz is a world-class goalie, and Khalid's making him look very average with his bounce dribble defense. I honestly thought that Joreuz might be one of the players who's best equipped to deal with Khalid's bounce dribbles, because I've seen him do very well against dribblers in the past, but I guess he's just never faced anybody on Khalid's level, because no one is on Khalid's level. Flip reset makes it 8-4. That all but confirms the win for Khalid in game number 3. He's not done yet though, he wants double figures. You know, if Joreuz keeps on going for fake kickoffs, half flip kickoffs, Khalid's going to take the free goals. That's a warning actually to Joreuz. In fact, I think it might have been a mistake for Khalid to even show that one, because I would definitely want to save that for later in the series against a player who's shown multiple fake kickoffs in the diagonal spawn. Might want to save your shot counter for a goal that actually matters, but Khalid just wanted as many goals as possible here. Wasn't interested in giving Joreuz any room to breathe, and he finally, after 3 tries, gets one on the board. Super Sow 93, thanks for what looks like a $6 donation, there or thereabouts. I'll recalculate at the end. It's coming through in pounds. I have to guess what it actually is. Minimac 1993, thanks to the Prime 13 months in a row. Rupert 77, thanks to the 2-month Prime. We've also got S Bothanation, the brand new Prime. And oh my days, is that the max? Is that all the months? How's it going, Poca? Thanks for 44 months in a row of Tier 1. I believe that's all the months. That is a long, long time. Also a pretty cool number. Welcome back, dude. Hope you're having a good one. Great recovery here by Khalid. He's even bumped Joreuz twice. Oh my goodness. Joreuz will not be happy with how that one's played out. Initially, it looked like Khalid had given Joreuz free possession. Sort of lackadaisical defending. But then all of a sudden, a couple of bumps and a very nice recovery. Don't just net him the 100 boost and the ball, but a goal. And he's challenging from a smart angle here, but Joreuz gets completely behind it. That is so well done. This is not easy to do, guys. Khalid charging forward. Look how Joreuz just rolls with the ball there to stay right behind it, preventing it from flying off into the side of the field where he can't use it. Great timing there. Perfect execution. And Joreuz has his flip available. Khalid manages to challenge at the perfect time. Joreuz quickly back around for a follow-up shot. Khalid saves that one as well. And oh dear, this is not looking good for Joreuz. Khalid's got another bounce dribble started. Well, this time he does get the perfect interception. Can Joreuz get a bounce dribble started on Khalid? No, he can't. It just didn't look as controlled when he was doing it. I said the last game in the series was the most important one. Well, this one's pretty key as well. Khalid down in it, 2-1 to Joreuz. And he reminds Khalid that there's actually 2 players in this game who can bounce dribble. Very nice timing on the shot, actually. He let it drop down before hitting the volley. That convinced Khalid that he was waiting for the bounce. And then as soon as Khalid made a move off the goal line, sent the ball over his head into the top corner. Joreuz with a gorgeous pop. Oh my goodness. I didn't think he was going to get this one this close to the net. It looks like Khalid was ready for a flip reset because he was pre-jumping where the flick would have come in. Joreuz just didn't go for one. He got underneath the ball and re-popped it. Completely different timing, a completely different trajectory on the ball. That's the sort of adaptation that will confuse any defender, even someone as experienced as Khalid. 3 minutes to go in game number 4. Khalid marching down the right wing, and he's met with Joreuz before he can get too far. Joreuz fakes a wall clear, brings it down. He's got another perfect setup here Air dribble over the top. Somehow saved by oKhaliD. He's going to go for the air roll shot. One end of the field to the other. That is going to be good enough. What a stop, and what a huge turning point as well. Could have very easily been 4-1 there. Instead, it's 3-2. And that is what happens when you all in with a vanilla air dribble. Your car lands inside the goal. If the ball doesn't, you are in a lot of trouble. Joreuz saved by the kickoff. Both players have actually been saved by the kickoff. Quite a lot this game. Imagine thinking that that save was lucky. That's hilarious. That's like fanboy goggles or something. Great bounce dribble again by oKhaliD. Also, water is wet, the sky is blue. Yeah, what else? What else do you guys want me to say? He's pretty good at those. One goal in it. oKhaliD trailing. He's also trailing by 1 game. Looking for the early challenge on Joreuz, who's keeping the ball in his own half here. oKhaliD exerting a lot of pressure. Waiting for the mistake. Haven't been too many of those from Joreuz in this game. But if they're going to appear, you would expect them to be later in the series. We are getting to the business end of this one. Little by little. Chess match in the offensive corner. oKhaliD can't find a way through. Joreuz is patiently waiting behind the ball. That's a great dodge though by oKhaliD. Plays the ball into an awkward spot while taking the boost, and that's sent Joreuz back to his goal, in fact. Another boost steal for oKhaliD. He's making minor improvements here. Joreuz trying to stay on the ball. The second he backs off, he is in a lot of trouble. Exquisite dodge though by oKhaliD. Piles the pressure on again. This might be the moment for Joreuz to even out the boost advantage. It is. oKhaliD actually... Oh, he almost mistimed that one, but he did get it. These two are just doing a dance from one end of the field to the other. Staying right on top of each other. Neither one wants to concede the possession easily to the other. Especially with the scoreline being this tight. The game being on such a knife edge. And that was risky for oKhaliD. He's gone for bursts of speed after slow passages of play quite a lot this series. To varying degrees of success. Because Joreuz, he's well known for this. He loves to try and control the pace of the game. But oKhaliD is the one who breaks the deadlock. And he equalizes with 38 seconds left. It's another quick aerial by oKhaliD. Beats Joreuz to the punch. Now who's going to get the kickoff win? Joreuz saved once again. And that's another kickoff goal. It looked like oKhaliD might get back and keep it out. Joreuz hit it with just enough power. 34 seconds in it. oKhaliD's got it all to do again. But he does have a kickoff win to work with. Can he get the ball into the middle? Joreuz is there, waiting for it. And again, Joreuz staying on the ball. He knows that he has to stay on this ball. And he, in fact, scores by doing so. That's a great read by Joreuz. If he leaves the ball here, if he just goes into his half for 100 boosts, if he runs back into the halfway line area to pick up small pads, oKhaliD starts a bounce dribble and probably scores because he has so much space. But Joreuz knows, well, I can both stop that from happening and have a chance of scoring if I just stay on this. It's really, really smart play. Limiting oKhaliD's options. It's a phenomenal save by oKhaliD, actually. Might not be over just yet. I think that ball's crossing on 1 second. It is. Wow. It looked like it was going to be a routine finish for Joreuz, but he needs to get the ball into the ground now because oKhaliD has somehow pre-jumped, saved him. And he scored with 1 second left. Now, if he puts in a goal here, this would be the most ridiculous comeback that I've ever seen. He's going to go for a delayed approach. And you have got to be kidding me. oKhaliD has somehow found a way to score with 1 second left on the clock. Are you kidding me? That is unbelievable. Truly, truly unbelievable. Joreuz will be furious with himself. Is he going to be saved by another kickoff? It's going to be close, but oKhaliD keeps it out at the bottom right corner. He doesn't have any boost to work with, has to go for the ball, but he does make contact. Joreuz still here, still piling on the pressure, and he does get the goal to win game 4. But what a performance by oKhaliD to both come back in this one and then keep the overtime alive as long as he did. Like, if there's ever going to be a game that shows why oKhaliD is considered the best ones player on the planet, a loss that shows why, and maybe this is it, because that was unbelievable. The fact that he didn't lose this game in regulation time, and he didn't just lose this game on the first couple of shots in OT. But yeah, Joreuz kickoff doing work for him there. He did well, because one of the things that's really hard to do in ones historically is hit a solid kickoff after something goes horribly wrong for you. So well played to Joreuz. The mechanics didn't let him down when it mattered most. There was 3 times actually that oKhaliD equalized, and Joreuz was able to respond every single time with a strong kickoff play. Relying on his mechanical ability to carry him through even when things are getting tough mentally. oKhaliD down 2 games. He needs what would be a reverse sweep and a best of 5. It's a mini reverse sweep and a best of 7. The thing that oKhaliD really needs to be careful of this game, not to take himself out of the game, because Joreuz is going to wait behind the ball as much as he can here. He's got 2 lifelines, and you bet he's going to use them. That's 1-0 for Joreuz already, and he's still controlling the pace of the game brilliantly. He's got oKhaliD in an uncomfortable sort of position, because when somebody tries to play the speedy game against oKhaliD, we've all seen how that works. oKhaliD just goes up a gear and matches them, and also has better control at that speed than whoever's trying to do it to him. But when Joreuz just constantly changes his own pace, the suddenly moving fast, suddenly moving slow sort of play style, it's really messing with oKhaliD's own rhythm. He just can't get into one at all. I think that's one of the standout things for me when I'm watching Joreuz play, because he does this to everybody. That's a great bump by oKhaliD. And you know, he's not had tons of success in the air with the air dribbles today. So he's really had to hit that one. If that didn't work out, he would have been down in the gutter, but he's tied it up the series again. It feels like that's all that's been happening today. Is Joreuz takes the lead, oKhaliD comes back, Joreuz takes the lead again. Big challenge win by oKhaliD in the midfield. Can he get around this one? He decides it was too risky. Did look like he might be hitting the post on it. I think he's got this one under control. Oh no, it's a bad landing for oKhaliD, but he's turned around well. This is actually salvaged brilliantly, because it would have been easy to get a horrible landing here for oKhaliD. It would have been very easy to see him conceding after all-inning for a shot at the near post. He managed to play a safe line of attack there, even when it was right there in front of him. It's hard to say no to a goal-scoring opportunity like that, but you have to say no to it if it's risky. Dove thanks to the tier 3 10 months. Great for oKhaliD. Well, he's got his work cut out for him today, because Joreuz continues to bring his A game. And this is just unbelievable. Flip, reset, flick into dunk on the goal line. How do you stop this? How do you stop it? Unless oKhaliD just beats him to the ball somehow. There's no way that he can get that out. It's just too hard. That's a brilliant challenge though by oKhaliD. A couple of times he's caught Joreuz out of position, and he's got the direct goal, or does he? You've got to be kidding me. It somehow stays out! What? This is honestly the most scripted series I've ever seen. How does that happen? How does this not go in? It might just not be oKhaliD's day, boys, because that is unbelievable. Again, I don't know what's more unbelievable, the fact that that didn't go in, or the kickoff goal that he got to send us into OT last time. Right, here we go. oKhaliD, don't hit the post. Yet again. Okay, that's better. He's done it. 3-2. And Joreuz, with the skin of his teeth, was hanging on there, but couldn't hang on for very long. Hey Dove, I see you've changed your name there on Twitch. You've not changed it on Discord, have you? Just asking. Sir GG Dragon down to the 11-month tier 1 as well. Glad you can catch the daytime stream. This is dangerous for Joreuz. He's not had a lot of success in this position today. But, you know, luckily for him, that wasn't a bounce dribble. It was just a ball carry. And yeah, if the ball's not bouncing, khalid's obviously not quite as dangerous. Joreuz is going to have to defend against a bounce dribble now, and he just doesn't look comfortable in it. This is awkward though for khalid. It's not set up nicely for him. It's hugging the post and not in a position that he can squash it in either. Joreuz with a chance to equalize. khalid's challenge game though in this game 5 has been outstanding. He has caught Joreuz off guard so many times. You realize that Joreuz is trying to slow down the game. He's trying to dribble every single ball. He's trying to get multiple touches, read forward. So he's countering him by just challenging on the very first bounce every time. Joreuz just chips the ball up in front of him, and khalid's already there. Now you look at what's happening on the other side of the field. Joreuz is faking challenges, but khalid is not falling for them. He's a step ahead in this game. Oh, Joreuz almost sends that one into his own net. It's somewhat worked out for him. I don't think that's what he had planned, at least in terms of direction. khalid in a bit of a panic. He didn't know exactly where Joreuz was there. Only has the 1 goal lead, and this is going to be dangerous. Joreuz up into the air, finds the bump, and that's going to be a tie game. And it goes back to that giveaway of possession in the back corner. khalid did not check to see where Joreuz was, and he panicked. He just jumped at the ball when in fact Joreuz was waiting on the ground to see what was going to happen. Key touch there for Joreuz, but he's got to be careful. khalid is coming again, and it's that same approach, trying to cross him over. Joreuz did get the block this time, but he doesn't have any boost to defend now. Luckily he can use the back wall to get himself up in the air. Joreuz is still playing with very low boost, but he still manages to find a way through. That was nearly the game right there. Has he overextended? Yes, he has! Joreuz has just put the ball in his own top corner. And the most scripted series you've ever seen just keeps on delivering. What a shot by Joreuz! How does he find the perfect top corner shot with a backflip? Oh my days. He's got 15 seconds left to come back here. Absolute scenes in Manfield night, with khalid happy for a change. Joreuz needs a goal. khalid just needs the ball to hit the ground, and he's got it in a pretty good space to begin with. Joreuz keeps it up. khalid gonna keep popping it awkwardly, and I think that's gonna be game. khalid did enough there in 0-second play just to make that awkward for Joreuz without completely taking himself out of the game. So well played to him, but wow. How do you lose a game like that? That is absolutely brutal. I mean, how does the ball not go in on the earlier save as well? What is this game? What am I watching? I actually can't believe some of the plays that we've seen in this series. Hey 20, thanks for the tier 1 sub. I see what you did there. Welcome to the stream, man. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. Oh, Joreuz actually just leaves the boost here. Not sure about that, but has he landed on the corner one? No, he hasn't. He had to go back for it, and now he's had to defend a shot. Joreuz making a bit of a meal of that initial play, but a very nice save on the back wall. Gets him back into it. Flick lets him down though, and this is what we were talking about earlier on in the series. Joreuz didn't look at all nervous up until now, but now that we're in the very end of the series, we've only got 1 or 2 more games to go. This is where we really start to see who is the more composed of the 2 players. Joreuz hasn't really been in this position as much as khalid has. khalid has gone the distance with players like Flakes. He's gone to game 5 against players like Alpha 54, Ixo. This is familiar territory. Even Astral, lots of top tier 1's talent have been beaten by khalid in a game 7 or a game 5, and it makes you think that Joreuz has to get it over and done with here. I don't know if khalid is going to let him win in an ace match. You can already see that khalid is starting to assert his authority on the game a lot more than before. He is moving around with purpose. Every single turn of the joystick has a reason. Joreuz trying to stay with him here. I think the ball pressure's just netted him a possession. In fact, it has. Well done, Joreuz. Staying right behind khalid on the play. Threatening a shot, threatening a demo, but it's the same strategy as last game that's causing him problems. Joreuz wants to slow the game down. He wants to play patiently on the ball, but khalid has completely changed up his defensive strategy. He is attacking earlier and further up the field, and it is working. Joreuz just sends that one way over the bar. khalid dives off the crossbar, does not dodge though, and because of that, he's able to stay with the ball here. Somehow Joreuz got the boost. It looked very close. But both players have 100. Joreuz fakes a takeoff. khalid did likewise. Both players trying to play pretty sneaky there. And they're both playing the same game. Almost half the game gone already, and it's 1-0. This is the sort of game khalid wants to play though. A game where he can be in control of the pace and dictating the flow of it and slot in those challenges wherever he feels confident. And he has looked confident with his challenges in this game and the last one. It results in another possession for himself. Joreuz just doesn't have the same confidence moving forward. He's giving khalid so much space to dribble. You compare that to khalid and you've got a totally night and day experience. That's not a good landing for Joreuz. Is he going to get back in time here? He is. It's very close to a 2-0 lead for khalid though. Joreuz needs to be careful. He needs to defend his net because khalid has just scored a second. Joreuz is starting to fall to pieces here. He had everything going his way. He was popping off in offense. He was neutralizing khalid's offense brilliantly. But it was that one small adaptation that khalid made going into game 5. He just started challenging further up the field and earlier, more aggressively, and it's worked out almost every time. Once again, Joreuz has no answer to khalid's goal side challenges. If you look at Joreuz's perspective on this, he can see khalid coming, but he just doesn't read it. He needs to read this before it happens. He has to be making his move before khalid even turns, because if he gives khalid the opportunity to turn around, it's already too late. khalid's going to be on him. Kick off to the rescue again, maybe for Joreuz. He needs a couple more. But that's a good start. He's finally got one on the board. It took over 3 minutes of gameplay in order to get it. And there's going to be immediate revenge. khalid sends one into his net. And it's not going to be that easy for Joreuz this time. Still a long way to go. It's a deceptive game when it stays this low in score. You feel like the lead is so comfortable for khalid because there haven't been many goals up until now, but there can easily be 3 goals for Joreuz if the kickoffs end up in low boost positions. Minute and 20 left. khalid's still aggressing as far up the field as he can. He might even go for a demo here. No, plays the ball. khalid just walks in, takes the ball, and he runs back to his own corner with it. He's not giving Joreuz any possession, uncontested. Making him work for every single play. Joreuz doesn't have many easy ways through. He's found one though, and that is a brilliant flick. khalid didn't show him enough respect here. He thought, well, Joreuz doesn't look like he's got anything that'll work out from this position, but Joreuz, he managed to wrap himself around that ball and flick it on target. khalid thinking about another kickoff goal. Decides to play the safer approach, but only for a while. That was risky. A better save for Joreuz there. Could have easily resulted in a counter-attack into an open net. Here comes khalid doing what he does best, and it just doesn't make sense. How can he be this good at bounce dribbling? It's unreal. Like, Joreuz, yes, maybe he could have defended closer to the net here, marginally closer to the net, but he had most of the goal covered there. He was up pretty quick. The acceleration and the accuracy and the consistency of khalid's shots off these dribbles, and all of them come with hardly any run-up at all. It's just unbelievable. It's something to behold. This will go down as one of the most famous player shot combinations, I think, in Rocket League history, if people are paying attention to what this guy can do. Joreuz has Khalid in an awkward spot here. We might actually see a goal. He's got a lot of goal to aim at, and he finds the corner. 14 seconds to go, and we have got another tense ending approaching. Smith Flower, thanks to the 30-month tier 1, and also Shifty with a $10 donation to the prize pool. Cheers for that, mate. Khalid no doubt going to stay on this ball until the very end of the game. Joreuz trying to go for the wall shot with low boost. He didn't get the power on the ball though, and that was an all-in move. He doesn't have a backup plan. Khalid can just let the ball drop, and we are headed to game number 7. Khalid on a 2-win streak. It's not looking good for Joreuz, but at least he had the last few goals of the game. If nothing else, he figured out how to score at the end of that one. He needs to try and carry that on early here. If he gives Khalid an early start, not even a goal, if he just gives Khalid time to ease into this game, establish his challenge game, get the ball moving around the field, Joreuz is really going to struggle. He has to try and surprise Khalid early. He has to try and catch him off guard with one of the plays similar to those he made earlier on in the series. But it is Khalid who opens this scoring, seemingly as he always does in Game 7s. This is his territory. This is where he has proven himself time and time again. Joreuz far more unfamiliar with this sort of position, but he's shown flashes of brilliance. He's shown world-class offense at times today, and if he can bring something special out of the bag in this game, you never know. Maybe it's on the cards for him, but right now it is failing him. He didn't get the aerial play to work, not even close. Khalid bangs another one in the counter-attack. That's the difference between Game 1, Game 2 Joreuz and Game 7 Joreuz, it would seem. Is earlier on in the series, Joreuz flies off the wall or the ceiling, he's probably scoring. He's definitely not going to give away the ball easily. But that time, he didn't look confident, didn't even land the reset, far less score it. And within the first minute, he's already down by 3. It just looks too easy for Khalid all of a sudden. Joreuz has to stop him. But the first step is, of course, to try and get his defense working. Khalid with a diving save, making up for his previous misplay. But what can Joreuz do? He's finally got the ball under control. He has to do something with it. And he does do something with it. He reads the early challenge. You know, it might be a couple of games late, but it's not too late just yet. Would have been nice if he started reading those earlier on. It would have been nice for himself. But that's one. What else can he do with it? Khalid just going to dribble the ball into the boost seal. Doesn't want a 50-50 with Joreuz on the goal line. Joreuz sticking with this one, as he should, especially when you're up against Khalid. Khalid fakes a jump to back him up. Joreuz faking a challenge in reverse there. Khalid fell for it somewhat. And he might also not be aware of how well Joreuz has managed his boost. He might be thinking that Joreuz is boost starved. Notice that Joreuz is not using any boost at all in this play. Now he's revealed that he did actually have some, but for a moment there it looked like Joreuz is trying to hide the 45 boost that he did have. And look at that, same thing again. Joreuz has figured it out. He's realized what Khalid has been doing to him for the past 2 games. He notices that Khalid is just turning around and challenging him from goal side. So if he just pops the ball before he sees it coming, then there's a chance he's going to get goals off it. Not just that he's going to stop the challenges from working, he's going to score, because if the opponent dives in like Khalid has been doing, and you play the ball over them, that's an open net. Now Khalid's in reverse. He's had to half flip that one on his own net just to keep it as safe. It's in safety. Luckily he could recover with it. Joreuz very much in this game now. First minute didn't go his way. Since then, he's been clawing his way back in. And Khalid is, I think, quite happy to sit on a 1-goal lead. Now he fakes a challenge, but even that doesn't work. Joreuz barrels straight through him, and we have a tie game as we approach halftime. Both players played the 50-50 here, but Joreuz rolled with the ball just like he did earlier in the game. He was the one moving with the ball. Khalid was standing still. And it's going to be Khalid's ball for the time being. Joreuz can save the first shot. Khalid trading possession for 100 boost. Joreuz is going to keep it for as long as he can. He's got the possession and 100 boost. Big win since the kickoff for Joreuz. He's been making minor improvements here. And that's composure, just letting the ball roll back into his half. He wants to use all the space he can. Doesn't catch Khalid challenging early here, but he adapts perfectly. Joreuz has found the answer. Notice that he popped the ball here just in case Khalid was challenging. And then when he realized Khalid wasn't challenging, he had a backup plan. He got under the ball and popped it again. That's exactly what he needs to be doing. Making early moves on the ball that aren't all in. Another chance for Joreuz. That's an almost perfect flick, but the bar saves Khalid. Joreuz going to keep the pressure on. Khalid staying safe, well away from any potential demos, and that's a pretty good shot. Joreuz out of position. And it's as simple as that. When you're against a player like Khalid, you can't give him any opportunities like this. Criminal from Joreuz. Heavy touch off the wall. He wanted to pop it awkwardly. That was far from awkward. It was a great pass. And with just over 90 seconds remaining in the game, we're all equal once again. Big bump by Joreuz. Khalid pre-flips into position. I think he's actually saved that. That's a brilliant touch. Joreuz had the shot on target if it wasn't for that pre-flip save. Khalid not getting the best takeoff. He adapts low. Joreuz goes for the boost in the corner. Look at the recovery of Khalid here. Is he still going to be with this one? I think he is. Somehow keeps it out again. Khalid doing a great job here, but Joreuz had the boost and he gets the goal. There were multiple touches here from Khalid that were impressive. The fact that he could stay with that play without any boost. But Joreuz made the boost count. Notice he had 0 when the shot went in. Played it perfectly. Khalid with just over a minute left, just under a minute left rather. Has the ball in the offensive corner. He's eliminated Joreuz from the play. Wave dash and a perfect spawn for Joreuz. No way. If that is how he wins this game, that will be very, very fortunate for him. I think if Khalid had Joreuz spawning on the far side, he was just scoring there. But he's still got time to try and get the goal that he's been looking for. Joreuz right now though has the ball, he has the boost, and he has Khalid on the back foot. Can Khalid find a way through? Oh, he might have just done right now. Joreuz almost out of position. And now we're in the final 10 seconds. And Khalid's still struggling to keep up with Joreuz, who's controlling the possession. Surely we're not going to see another 0-second goal by Khalid. No, we're not. Joreuz grounds it. And he beats Khalid in a game 7. Not only is that the first time that Khalid's lost a series, but it's the first time he's lost when the series goes the distance. Goes without saying, but wow. What a series by Joreuz and Khalid. Unbelievable stuff. And congratulations to Joreuz on ending Khalid's streak and also on keeping his own streak going. But yeah, that was a great series. I think we definitely have to see this one again. I would love to watch more of these two playing. So interesting, the back and forth that they were having. The play styles mesh brilliantly. But you know, we were talking in the mid-game about Khalid's adaptation, challenging early. It was Joreuz adapting to those early challenges that got him the win. Couple of pop goals, very simple stuff, just getting the ball on top of the car and double jumping. But that's what got the win in the end. That and a very nice spawn. I want to see that again, actually. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from Joreuz here. I think he played a fantastic series. And this is what happens in Rocket League. This is just something you have to accept. But would he have saved this if it wasn't for the spawn? Because this is the only randomness in Rocket League. The only RNG. Something I've actually talked about a lot in the past. So I think it would be interesting to have a different way for respawns to happen. Wow. Joreuz, That is amazing. He's like, oh no, Khaled. Like, look at this play. Joreuz is like, okay, let me get the ball. Oh no, he's killed me. It's probably a goal, isn't it? Oh, never mind. It's just the best spawn of all time. And Khaled is, I'm pretty sure he was about to shoot. He set it up brilliantly. Even had a wave dash here for acceleration. Yeah, that's just a goal if Joreuz spawns on the other side. Oh, wow. 50-50. Oh, 50-50. Overtime or Joreuz wins right there. That is unfortunate for Khaled. You have to admit, it's very unfortunate. Joreuz, yeah, you would have been pretty mad if you just got equalised in the final minute with a demo goal, though. But look at that. I think there's no denying. Yeah, Khaled's going to score that. He's got enough boost to get the shot off. But really, really well played nonetheless. I'm not pointing this out to take anything away from the win. It was deserved. But it's just such a funny way for the game to end. You can't ignore it.